Hey y'all, if you have not caught the video that I had uploaded earlier, you might want to watch that one before you watch this one. Because this one, I am going to get a little bit elaborate on the suckiness of being a homeowner. When Camel Toe had said, "Oh, I'm going to give $25,000 to everybody who wants to buy a house as down payment," is she so fucking out of touch that she doesn't even realize what the real estate market is right now? I bought my house 2017 for $132,000. It is 50 years old. The only thing that is perky about it is that it sits on just shy of a half an acre, and it has a 2-car garage in a neighborhood that is outside of city limits. So I don't have to pay city tax. I only pay county. Other than that, everything else is a pretty much fucking nightmare. But everything that I'm dealing with are things that any home buyer, whether it be brand new or been there 20 years, 10 years, whatever, is going to have to deal with. Now, down here in the South, typically, depending on what you get, who you buy from, refrigerators and stoves, you have to buy yourself. So, if I were to move out of here tomorrow, that refrigerator and that stove would be coming with me. And whoever bought the house would have to get their own. That's normal down here. Now, up north, it's included in the house. It's part of the appliance package. So, what you get with a house when you purchase one is strictly determinant on where it is you are fucking buying in the country. My parents, up north, Colorado, when they bought their appliances came with the house. The old house that they bought down here in Tennessee, the appliance came with the house. But it was an old modular. Colorado was a split level. New York, regular standard farmhouse. Glassed in porch, covered the full front. Yeah. Not all houses will come with the appliances. The first house I looked at, as a matter of fact, down here, it was the same price as this one, did not have a 2-car garage. It was prettier inside. That I will give it. But it'd been there a while, a little bit older than this one, had a shit ton of trees, overgrown, need to get cut down. First storm come through, I was going to lose my house. That's another thing to consider. If you buy a house, look at the landscape. The bigger the trees, the bigger the expense. They drop limbs, they drop leaves, gutters need to be cleaned. Limbs are going to be on your roof. Those limbs being on your roof are going to cause mold, moisture on your shingles. They also drop branches during storms. Down here in this area, you got to kind of analyze the weather pattern. Do you get high wind storms? Probably not a good idea to have a lot of trees. Trees are going to take out your house. Cut the fuckers down. Yes, they provide shade. Yes, they are beneficial in some degree of keeping the house cooler in the summer and catching a lot of snow in the winter. However, branches get heavy with ice, they break, they land on your roof, they take your roof out. There are so many things that people are ignorant to when they buy a house. And that $25,000 perk that the government wants to, camel toe thinks that is going to buy your vote is erroneous as fuck. And anybody who has any kind of sense at all can see through that. But people are young, and if I was young, I would have been ignorant and not realizing all of this. Thinking, yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, I want abortion rights and I want a down payment on my house. Those are the only things they're focused on. They're totally fucking ignorant. Totally ignorant. In which, currently, if they were paying attention to everything that was going on in the country, abortions are not entirely out of the question. You just have to research which states have them legal. You want one? Take your ass there. Enough said. You live in a state where they don't let them happen? You better research where they are happening. If you're using it as a form of birth control, sorry, those are your options. It's not a priority. No, it's not. Not even for me. And I'm going to tell you why. I am 52 years old. I'm going through menopause, and the possibility of someone going through menopause and getting pregnant is not unheard of. I have a friend from high school. Her mother was 56 when she gave birth to her. Yes. It does happen. Yes, it does. It may not be legal here, but I know it's legal somewhere else. If I wanted my rights to do that, I would research and go find a place to take care of that. It does not need to be federally mandated. This country is huge, but at the same time, it's pretty small. So it's not like you've lost your option. Second fact, homeownership is expensive as fuck. Just because you have a whatever, I have $132,000. It's now recently appraised at $250,000. If somebody wanted to buy up my land, to demo my shit, and put 6 units on here, which is what they want to do, I would ask for nothing less than $1.5 million. 25 grand is a fucking joke for a new first-time home buyer. you better have that much, if not twice as much, in your bank account or somewhere stashed away that they don't know about to go into a new home. $25,000 does not cover the down payment on a $350,000 to $400,000 house. And that's what the average going price is. I've looked all over the country because I had considered relocating at one point. Now, there's some places where houses are kind of cheap and you can probably get away with that. And if you're a Democrat and you vote for that psychotic carrot on a stick genie in a bottle that you think she is, cheapest houses in this country right now are in Texas. Oh, trust me, I've looked. I have a friend probably in every state in this country, having been in the military. If you want to buy a house easily, then you need to go in the service. Serve your time, pay off your student loans, get the 0 VA benefit. Otherwise, you're going to be living in your parents' basement for a really fucking long time. Because whoever voted Biden and her in are the reason why you are dealing with the struggle now. And I can confidently tell you that it was not me. My mortgage payment goes up every year. No different than rent. Because of taxation. So my property taxes, when they go up, so does my mortgage. Because everything is compiled into escrow. If you don't know about what it takes to buy a house, you need to research that first. Mortgage brokers do not like your debt ratio above 20%. If you have student loans and they're astronomical, and you have credit card debt and it's astronomical, and your income is currently, with the cost of houses, roughly, if your income is $5,000 or less a month, you are not getting into a house ever. Even with a $25,000 perk. You will never be able to afford it. And that's just being honest and forthright. If you have a house that has a yard, you're going to need to pay for a landscaper. You still have utilities, electric, water, gas, whatever. You still have to pay for maintenance. You have to maintain your gutters. You have to keep track of your roof. Your roof is expensive as fuck. Mine just cost me almost $40,000 to replace it. And that's because I had a frequent buyer with the windows that I replaced. Your lawn care is going to be anywhere from $250 to $300 a month. Your electric, let's round it, depending on where you live and what season you're in. I took my biggest bill and I paid that all year long. Now I have this stupid credit on both. Refrigerator goes out, $3,000. Washing machine dies, $1,000. Stove dies, $2,500. Water heater, $1,100. Central heat and air, Average price to fix whatever component on there, anywhere from $500 to $1,000, and to replace the entire unit, $5,000 to $7,000. Need me to keep going? Property taxes go up every single year. My mortgage started off at $750. I'm now at $826. By next year, I'll be paying $925. Vehicle interest. Oh my God. My pickup truck is $900 a month. Could I go into something cheaper? Yeah, probably. I choose that. I don't choose property taxes to go up. I don't choose shit to break. If you have a dishwasher, plan for it to leak. Plan for it to be replaced. There's $500 too. Plus plumber to come in. And or repairman to figure out what the fuck is wrong with it, whether or not you need to fix it or replace it. It all adds up. Everything adds up. New floors, water leaks. Gutters need to be cleaned every spring or right before winter when all the leaves fall. If you got trees, you better count on having to cut the fuckers down. What else have I paid for? Yeah, 3 trees, exterminator, pest control. Yeah, it doesn't work on mice though. I gotta combat those from inside the house. Birds, soffits. Birds are a nightmare. They make me nuts. Electrical issues. Electricians. I can tell you what an electrician costs. Average, $175 an hour. Plumbers, about $125 an hour, $150. You want to own a home? Yeah, my mortgage is, what, $826? But my new roof cost me $400 a month, so $826 plus $400. I'm up to $1,200. Plus my windows, that's another $200. I'm up to $1,400. Plus my exterminator, that's $100. It ain't no different than paying rent around here. Plus I have to maintain my lawnmower, maintain my equipment, maintain my tools, all my other stuff. It is harder than renting. The only difference in owning a home as opposed to renting is that I'm not fighting for a parking space and I don't have to deal with noise. So the extra expense, yeah, it's worth it to me. Considering the post-traumatic stress disorder and the issues that I have with slamming doors, noisy people, weird-ass work schedule. Jesus. You know, usually I'm asleep right now. What time is it? 8 o'clock? Yeah, I'm asleep. I'm off tomorrow, so, and I didn't get off until like 6 o'clock at night. This is a weird, unusual scenario for me. I'm usually up all night long. I'm done by about 11:30, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I eat, I get showered, I do whatever I need to do. If I have to take care of something, I go take care of it. That's like around town, what have you, and I'm in bed. it pisses me off as to how out of touch this woman is, thinking that she can sit there and bribe you with $25,000, whereas if you know anything about anything, $25,000 is a fucking joke. You're still going to need to come up with about $10,000 to $15,000 to make a 10% down payment on any kind of house in the buyer's market right now. And the interest rates are through the roof. Who the fuck would finance a house at more than 3.5%? The only reason I financed my truck at 9% was because that's the fucking lowest interest rate in this market because of this presidency that was available to me. And I had to use my house address as opposed to my legal address. My legal address is the region in which I vote in. I don't use this one for anything. Yes, there are several people in this world that have more than one address. I am one of them. It's actually cheaper for me to use this address to register my truck and my motorcycle. But I don't. I use my legal address for that stuff. I bought this house because it's closer to my job. I did not buy this house because this is where I wanted to live. Just putting it out there. There are people who are looking to find a house to create generational wealth, raise a family, things like that. If you are single, I do not recommend it. Unless you have a very lucrative and profitable career. Maintaining a house by yourself is a lot of fucking work if you work away from your house like I do. If you work from home, completely different scenario. My sister is part of the 6-figure club, just like me. She works inside her house. She doesn't have to leave. She doesn't have to pay for the gas, but to go grocery getting. And even then, she does DoorDash 99% of the time. Your lifestyle will dictate the house that you need. But in today's market, 25 grand, it's an insult. It's a joke. You need twice that much in a savings account that nobody knows about. Hint, hint. You need about half that much in your own savings account just to get approved for the mortgage. And the 25 grand doesn't even cover the down payment in most places nowadays. In any state. Oh, I've looked all over, even in Wyoming. I've looked in Wyoming, I've looked in Montana, I've looked in North and South Dakota. My occupation basically is nationwide. I can move to any state. It's understanding excuse me, that's number 4. The affordability of the region. I understand the aspiration for wanting to own a house and not rent, and I get it. And yeah, sometimes I look around and I sit there and I'm like, man, yeah, this is hard work. But at the same time, I sit there and think about, you know what, if I was in an apartment, I'd have to deal with the nuances. Now, I'm 52 now, so yeah, I could probably get into one of those quiet senior citizen neighborhoods. But then I'd get complaints because my motorcycle would bug somebody. But yeah, the list is in there. Go back, rewatch it, grab a notebook, take notes. Yeah, I should have probably told you that at the beginning. Sorry. But anyway, it is 8:30 and my old ass is going to finish this beer. I'm going to get me something to eat and I'm going to go to bed. But yeah, 25K. God, what a fucking slap in the face. For double gas, double food, double insurance, housing market going through the roof, interest rates going through the roof. It's like, who's she fucking kidding? Yeah. Come back to Earth, princess. You are completely out of touch.